Well, it's 7 days until the country's 47th independence. COVID-19 has, however, left the government to organize a virtual event for the first time in history. Our Lloyd Allen is live with the members of the Independence Committee.
Well, happy National Pride Day. Good morning, Macosta, and good morning, Bahamas. It's a beautiful Friday, and this morning we are here at Clifford Park. And in just a few days, it will be the 47th anniversary of an independent Bahamas. This year, however, there will be no large crowds gathered here at the fort. But however, there is a virtual presentation being prepared for the 9th of July. Helping us to understand how that's all going to unfold is Andrew Burrows, who's on as the producer. Mr. Burrows, welcome to the morning edition.
Good morning, Lloyd. Happy to be here. Happy National Pride Day, Bahamas.
So, of course, this is a little different for us here in the Bahamas, a virtual presentation for independence. We've known independence to be, this spot to be one of those places where Bahamians converge and celebrate independence. But talk to us about how you're going to intrigue and keep guests, keep all the locals interested and engaged during that 4-hour presentation.
It will be, a unique presentation, as you pointed out, for the first time since 1973. Crowds will not be on the grounds of Clifford Park, as has been our tradition. You'll have some activity out here for sure, but definitely not something that would, involve a crowd. We're also going to have the sermon. Well, first of all, let me back up. It is a 4-hour presentation that will be coming out of Studio A at ZNS, and in the next couple of days, you guys will see all kinds of things happening where we're going to transform Studio A into our independent set, and it's going to be spectacular. And we're going to have a little go in between Studio A and Clifford Park for different parts of the show. The national sermon normally takes place out of here, so the Christian Council will continue with that. They'll be the only ones out here, along with the Royal Bahamas Police Force and Defense Force color guards, who will escort the flag in, do the traditional hoisting of the flag as the national anthem is sung by Ali Akoli and played by the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band and Defense Force Band. But that will be the extent of what's happening out here at Clifford Park. Everything else is happening in a virtual space, starting with what we're going to be doing in the studio, and then how we're going to bring in people from all over the world, all of our diplomatic outposts, Bahamians here, there, and everywhere throughout the islands. Everybody's going to be a part of it. The performances, because we're not skimping on the performances, it'll pretty much be the same elements that you would ordinarily have, just done differently because of COVID-19. So you'll have a whole show of performances, some secular, some ecumenical, but really all the same type of celebratory kind of energy. And it's all going to happen from people's living rooms or from their studios or from wherever they are where they can actually perform. And then there's another aspect that we were trying to keep under wraps, but may as well tell you now, which is the audience gets to be a part of it. On the 9th, ZNS will, inundate you with this way to get on. You log into the Zoom link and you can actually be either on doing a shout out or saying hi to somebody or just being a part of our virtual background. But then there's some people who are also sending in greetings as well. And, the idea again is to kind of involve everybody as best we can. And is the quintessential taking a lemon situation and making lemonade for the country, because ideally, the committee was planning from the end of last year's celebration, something special out here on Clifford Park before COVID-19. So we had to retool, and the idea of a virtual celebration is something that I think, we're trying to make the best out of it, and I'm really excited about what will come of it. You're going to have some ZNS personalities involved as well. Okay. And you're going to have some entertainment and some people from other areas that you're familiar with who will be a part of the show. The studio team, you see Bodine will be one of the hosts, along with somebody from ZNS. I can't tell you yet, though, because if they ain't tell you, I can't tell you. Chikozi Ijoma is going to be in studio, Dyson and Wendy. But then again, you're going to have an exciting thing that we're adding. Because COVID basically gave the Bahamas a lot of new people to look and laugh at. We saw an explosion of comedians on social media. So they're written into the show. And we reached out to a lot of them and said, hey, give us a sketch comedy segment to just give us a little slice of Bahamiana. And they delivered. So it's going to be a nice little mix. The older folks who like certain things are going to have what they like, and the young kids who like this TikTok and all that stuff, they're going to have a lot of stuff to be excited about as well.
Now, Andrew, I don't know why you're skimming on the details. We talked about this off camera. Talk to these people about the inclusion of persons from social media, TikTok and the likes. I mean, I recently joined TikTok, and so I was literally elated when I heard that you guys were actually using personalities from social media platforms to engage all of the Bahamas in this year's celebration.
Yeah, we wanted to, again, be able to bring some joy and some entertainment, but also to share the whole Bahamian spirit as best we can. And we saw, you guys did stories on it. You saw an explosion of Bahamian content on these platforms. And of course, even before COVID, you had a lot of people who were making a name for themselves using WhatsApp and Facebook and YouTube and whatnot. So the idea was to let's just reach out, grab all of them. We don't care where you are. just give us 2 minutes or give us whatever, and just let's see you do your thing to bring some joy to our audience. Because really, folks want to be out. They want to do what you normally do on Independence Day. You can't do it. You can go to the beach, but, you can't do it the way you normally do it. So we figured Thursday evening, we'll try and make that 4 hours the fastest, funniest, freshest, most patriotic 4 hours you can have.
And last but not least, of course, Independence is all about remembering. And I know this year you're memorializing the victims of Hurricane Dorian. Just share with us lightly on that component of the show.
Yeah, and again, not to turn it into just this celebration. It is a celebration, but it's also a recognition of what we've come through as a country. The country's been through a lot since the last time we had a celebration of independence. You had Hurricane Dorian in September, and now COVID-19 for pretty much all of this year. And we lost people, and we've invited folks who have lost folks in the Dorian tragedy, as well as people who would have died as a result of COVID-19, to just write into events, national events at bahamas.gov.bs, national events at bahamas.gov.bs, to just give us a little bio of your family member and give us a chance to actually honor them. So we actually have built into the show an in memoriam segment. Right now we're looking at about 15 minutes of that based on the amount of people who send in. But we want to have every person who we've lost due to those tragedies recognized in a national way. And again, it's a way to just also remember what we're thankful for, because a lot of us could have been victims as well, and we're not.
So some great information there, of course. That's just to get you started. And just yesterday, ZNS News was on the streets speaking with locals just to find out their take on, us going virtual this year and what it really means to them. Let's take a look. 46 years of celebrations are enshrined in the hearts and minds of Bahamians, who today proudly boast of 47 years as an independent nation. For many, the events leading up to that moment stand as a test to a resilient people. If you ask most Bahamians, their stories are similar.
Well, come home from school one day, my mom said, be Bahamian now.
Being in a Surrey horse and carriage and going around the perimeter of the fort at the time. And I just remember it being exciting and being filled with pride.
I was a little boy back then. I remember the tattoo. I remember when the police used to walk with the dogs and all of the marching and the parade and the fireworks. It was not as elaborate back then, but it's very nice. It made you feel really good as a Bahamian.
We used to live downtown. We used to live right on Bay Street. So I remember the celebrations there being a lot of fun. And I would do that with me and my dad.
But with the celebration 100% virtual this year, here's what some are saying.
If we can unite in any kind of means, and I think right now it's through digital platforms, I think it's great.
If the country is opening back up slowly but surely, I feel like we should have the Independence Parade, not virtual, but as a Bahamian nation.
I'm happy about people being safe rather than having a good time. I want to have a good time, but a happy good time.
We need to still celebrate our heritage and our country, but we can't have that social gathering. I mean, it'll be irresponsible for the government to say that we should social distance and have an event that encourages other people to get together in mass numbers.
This year's theme for Independence, Pressing Onward, a time of hope, triumph, and transformation. The virtual event is set for July 9th on ZNS television, a 4-hour celebration with the highlight, a memorialization of those lives lost during Hurricane Dorian last year. Families are asked to email a picture and bio to officials who plan to include those names and memories as part of the event. But despite the challenges, Bahamians say
Independence is about togetherness, you know what I mean? I feel like it go with the coat of arms, like forward, up, and on and together. It keeps the people together, you know what I mean? And it's just beautiful.
I'm still proud to be a Bahamian.
Proud to be a Bahamian.
Proud to be Bahamian.
Still proud to be Bahamian.
Still proud to be a Bahamian. Valley or nothing.
And so remember, the big show unveils on July 9th at 8 p.m. right here on ZNS. Reporting live from Clifford Park for the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.